Hello, thank you so much for joining us for ScotWeek 2022. I am so delighted today to have the team from Ecoflix here. And without further ado, hi, David, Kevin, and Aimee.
Hi, Kelsey.
Hey.
Hi, Kelsey.
Hello. No, this is truly a global team, and I'm so excited to get started. Now, I could spend literally minutes, half an hour reading their bios and everything they've accomplished in this lifetime so far. So I'm going to start with David Casselman. So David is a philanthropist and a retired trial lawyer who has dedicated much of his life to animal welfare, including a wide variety of pro bono legal work for animal causes. He is a co-founder of the Cambodia Wildlife Sanctuary, a member of the board of the Wolf Sanctuary in Los Angeles, and a member of the advisory board of the Whale Sanctuary Project, and the CEO and founder of the Ecoflix Foundation, overseeing the financial operations, nonprofit business, as well as the advocacy and ethical impact deliverables of Ecoflix. Woo! And I could go on about all of the amazing work and examples of things that you've done to really protect animal rights, and also just to enlighten people of our interconnectedness of humans and animals in our environment. Then Kevin is the CMO of Ecoflix and MD of Ecoflix Media. He started his award-winning career at 15 in the music industry. And at 19, he created the iconic Winston the Churchill Bulldog. That's amazing. Before shooting to fame as a record producer and DJ, selling over 20 million records, 13 number ones, and BBC Radio Producer of the Decade from 1990 to 2000, producing music for Beyonce, Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, Neo, Akon, Lionel Richie, Phil Collins, and Usher. Oh my goodness. And in 2008, Kevin swapped his music and live entertainment career for the corporate world. And he was the most senior VP for Unidays, helping global brands reposition their sales and marketing to Gen Z audiences. He was also the managing director of Preen, a leading UK video production company. And Kevin is also a marketing advisor to 10 Downing Street and created their antenna brand in 2018. It's amazing. Goodness is a mouthful. Okay, Aimee, saved you for last. So Aimee, beautiful, intelligent boss Aimee, love you Aimee, is a dynamic film and brand marketing strategist, having worked in global communications for 20 years. During that time, she has worked across multiple industries, including film and television, theater, productions, gaming, property, shipping, travel, space, automotive, healthcare, government, retail, fashion, and technology. She founded the company AAA, Access All Areas, in 2016, a global agency which specializes in helping brands create revolutionary contact through pioneering entertainment partnerships in film and TV. So now Aimee is the Chief Operating Officer for Ecoflix. So thank you so much. This is extensive, and I'm so excited for you guys to share what you guys are doing now. So without further ado, who wants to tell me, how did this happen? How did Ecoflix start? How did you all come together? What's the story here?
Well, I guess I'm to blame for that, so I'll take the lead here. I retired from the practice of law a couple of years ago, and after a few weeks of sort of realizing that I wasn't every day getting up and handling cases for people or animals, I realized I needed to find another mission. And I really loved the work I did for animals, but if I wasn't going to be practicing law, I couldn't continue that. So I realized that the film industry was doing a lot of good things, but then not so good things. I had been involved in producing a film called Love and Bananas that is about elephant trekking and the evils of elephant trekking. But it's a very inspiring film, and its mission was to help people understand that when they ride elephants, it's not good for the elephants, very bad, in fact. And you wouldn't know that if somebody didn't teach you that. So we created this film, and on the strength of that film, we were able to close 50 trekking camps in Thailand. So the power of film became really quite real to me. And at the same time, in the same process, I learned that people don't have the ability to make a great film and then just automatically get it out there. Distribution is an issue. And something, again, I never realized, it cost a lot of money to get that film distributed after it was fully in the can. And based on that, I realized that the animals needed, number one, inspiring films of all kinds, and they needed distribution. And so Ecoflix was created for the purpose of providing free distribution worldwide for animal-centric films that would help move the needle, inspire people, but not preach to them. And so we started, and with a lot of work, we reached the point where I was able to hire some great people, and that ultimately led me to Kevin and Aimee, and here we go.
Here we go. Oh my goodness. And Aimee, tell me more about this story. How did you come on board, and what has it been like working with David and Ecoflix and the team?
Yeah, it's so inspiring. And Kelsey, I know you and I spoke before on this podcast, and a big part of what I really wanted to do with my film career was work in social impact. And really kind of films have got such a powerful role to play in behavioral change and education. And, there's been so many films that have kind of changed the world without people really realizing that's what they're doing because it's entertainment. And so when I met David and heard about what he was wanting to do in his vision with Ecoflix about inspiring, creating amazing content all around nature and celebrating nature and, educating people on the importance of nature within, kind of climate change, and actually that's what we've got to get back to, learning all about biodiversity, and the team that was surrounding David, these incredible conservationists. I just learned so much within a short space of time. My mind was blown, and I just kind of really felt this was something that was really close to my heart, and to focus on this particular area of social impact, because obviously there's so many different kind of areas, but I just think the planet and us giving back and us leaving the planet in a better place for future generations, this is kind of where it starts. And so yeah, that's kind of why I got involved. And like I said, the team's just so inspiring, people from all different backgrounds. Like you heard about Kevin's background from entertainment, David's background, and then like I said, we've got incredible conservationists working with us. So it's just very refreshing and well-rounded. So yeah, it's been amazing.
That's amazing. I love this. And Kevin, how about you? And tell me something about the challenges and because this is a very innovative thing that you guys are doing. So what's going on? What are some challenges, and what are some positive things that are happening right now that is really launching Ecoflix?
Yeah, sure. I think it's the most amazing positive that we are partnering with NGOs right across the planet. And just this week, we signed possibly some of the best we've ever signed, thanks to David on the call today. Thanks, David, who are doing some amazing work with elephants. I think that's wonderful. I think for me, part of the reason I joined was we've reached a tipping point as a human race. I think every single person on the planet is finally realizing there is actually a problem. It's not just the media reporting a little bit of a spin. It really is an issue that we need to deal with, animals and planet. Some of the challenges are around content, of course, because content on a mobile at this stage, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube or a website, is got a kind of 1.7-second scroll rate, which means your video has to really resonate quickly on mobile for them to kind of sign up to Ecoflix and get them on board with their donations to help us solve some of the riddles and myriads of the planet which we're tackling as a massive team. Not even a massive team, to be fair, but I think the energy and the passion and the enthusiasm is enormous. It's quite infectious when we get on a group call together, or we meet a new NGO or a new sponsor partner. Absolutely love that. So there's a challenge and a positive straight away. But it's just such a lovely family team that's dedicated to solving this huge issue, because it's a difficult issue to sort. This isn't a simple gig. So it's going to take David and Goliath and probably a few of the minions from Disney to come along the way with us.
Absolutely. And Aimee, the last time I spoke to you, you personally walked me through the website and all the different areas that Ecoflix has. So you have a for-profit section and then the nonprofit section. So tell me more about all the offerings you have.
Yeah, so how it works is we really wanted to make a difference. That's, kind of what David's vision was right from the get-go. We want to make an impact. That is front and center, which is why we're working so closely with these NGO partners. And so what we decided was that we would be completely transparent as a business. We would have 2 bank accounts, and all the membership fees, or donations they really are, is 100% of those go straight to animal missions and causes, as well as habitat restoration causes as well. That is our number one focus. So with 100% of those membership fees going straight out the door, we needed to make ourselves sustainable. And so we created additional revenue streams. And so one of those, the number one priority revenue stream for us is Ecoflix Media, which is what Kevin runs for us. And that's where we create all this incredible content for the platform. But we're also a production company where we go out and we're a production services company, essentially, that people can hire us. And I'll let Kevin say a little bit more about that separately. But we also have other revenue streams. We've got an Ecoflix store where at the moment we're selling incredibly inspiring children's factual books about all sorts of nature, animals, the oceans, which is great. So we've got that, and we're also about to launch Ecoflix Travel, which is selling ecotourism packages, and very much with a spotlight on NGOs and the great work they're doing. So we've got lots of different revenue streams to support us as a business, but it means that all our members know that they can be completely guaranteed that everything that they contribute to Ecoflix goes straight to the causes that we support. So yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Amazing. And David or Kevin, would you like to tell us more about how this works and kind of the details of this, or is there something else pressing on your hearts that you wish to share at this moment?
Well, in my case, there is. One of the first documentaries we created is called Free Billy. And Free Billy is about an elephant that's been just terribly treated for over 33 years, 34 now, I think, in the LA Zoo. And I fought 10 years as a lawyer to get him out. We won the case through trial, all the way through the Court of Appeal, reversed by the California Supreme Court on a ridiculous technicality that had nothing to do with elephants. And so the net effect is Billy's still there. And we started a change.org petition. We're approaching 100,000 signatures. If people would sign it and bring that number up to the 100,000 mark that or higher, that would be great. We're still trying to get a city council hearing to free him, and ideally fly him to Cambodia, where he can be free with with Caban, who is almost an identical bull elephant who we helped free from the Pakistan Zoo and flew him. He is now in Cambodia at our wildlife sanctuary. And so having 2 bulls together who can play would be amazing. And Billy needs to get out soon. It's just been way too long.
Yeah, and tell us more about, I know that you have Free Billy, your first feature film for Ecoflix on the Ecoflix website. People can download and watch, which I highly recommend that everyone does that. But can you tell us just a little bit, and I know not to, this is such a touching story, but can you tell us a little bit about some of the conditions that he's currently in?
Yes, Billy is 36 or 7 now. He was taken as a baby from Malaysia at 4, and he was put through the crush box, which all elephants that are going to be in the company of man have to do. Otherwise, they'll have nothing to do with people and they won't do anything they're told. And it is a brutal experience. I won't go through it in any detail other than to say it's designed to completely destroy their will. They are physically and emotionally abused for a long period of time until they absolutely give in, just totally resign themselves to man. So he was then transported to the zoo, which picked up on his quote training and taught him tricks and things to do at a zoo, which makes no sense. And then while there, he's been on display in a tiny, tiny facility that's way too small for elephants. At any given time, he has about 1/4 of an acre. Elephants travel in the wild 50+ miles a day. And the idea of being in a tiny space like that is the human being, like a human being in a closet on concrete. They have soft feet just like we do. And so when they're on hard ground, their legs and their feet can't take it. It's the single leading cause of death of captive elephants is foot and leg problems. And he's been having them regularly, and they're going to get worse. And like other elephants in the LA Zoo, he will die from them if we don't get him out of there and get him back to his natural environment. So, the zoo lies about what they're, that he's healthy, he's happy. And they said that in a recorded council session 1 week before one of their elephants died from a 30-year-long condition that was developing. And Billy's in the same path. They have to get him out, and we're trying to get that council hearing and save him before it's too late.
Yeah, absolutely. So is it only United States citizens that can sign petitions, or can people from around the world? Okay.
People from around the world can sign them, and we welcome that because in the case of 100,000 signatures on change.org, Parliament requires a hearing. And it would be wonderful to reach that number and have Parliament send a message to the LA Zoo, your time is up. You need to do something. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And to sign that.
I was just going to say, films like Billy are so important because they educate. A lot of people don't realize, kind of what zoos are like, and they take their kids along thinking it's fun for their kids to see these animals, but these animals were never meant to be in, kind of in such small confinements. And I think that's kind of where the education piece comes in. So, all our films are not, not about beating people over the heads or lecturing people at all. It's very much about just the facts. And certainly since I've come in, there's been so much that I've learned, realizing I had no idea about this, and because it's not talked about. So I think that's a big part of our mission, is to share information. Everything's factual, science-based, and it's like I said, it's not lecturing, it's as much as possible we're inspiring, beautiful images, where you can fall in love with nature, but every so often there's a story that has to be told that is maybe a bit more, kind of emotive, and sharing those facts that maybe are a little bit difficult to hear, but that's the reality, and without knowing that, we can't change. So it's this documentary, we're all really proud of, because it's so powerful, the change it could actually cause. So that's yeah.
Absolutely. And for our audience members, we're going to put the link below in the chat of where you can go to watch the film and also sign the petition. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can sign this petition and make a difference for Billy and a bunch of different elements. Woohoo!
Exactly.
Yeah. And this is for anyone to answer. What are some other projects? And I know you have original series that you're doing and educational programs. So what are some of your favorite ones that you're super excited about? And maybe ones that maybe if you can tell us others that are about to come out.
If it's okay, I'll take that one. So we are trying our best not to be entirely elephant centric, even though we adore and do a lot to protect elephants in several different locations. And so we have two different shows that are based in Africa. They're both in Botswana. One is called On Safari with Nala, and she's roughly 10 or 11 years old. And she goes out, and they're 5 minutes roughly, and they're each focused on a different species in the wild that she and her father, who takes her out in the Jeep, bring her to. But she's the only one on camera, and she talks about these species and all the cool things you can learn. And I guarantee you, everybody can learn something from watching these things. They're fabulous, and the kids love them. And we're very much focused on Gen Z, and we really want to educate children. So that's a big part of our mission. Another one in Botswana is called Going Wild with John and James. And John and James are a couple of lighthearted tour guides who are fabulous, and they're very entertaining. And these are shows that we're developing, and we'll hopefully continue to develop, about what you see if you go on a tour with them in Botswana. And you get pretty graphic and up close, and it's exciting and fun, and we love that. But we're working on so many other projects because the mission of Ecoflix goes far beyond the programming. So we're donating, and one of my favorite projects, I have to tell you, is a very unusual project in Russia, of all places. Timely, I guess, but it's to save lynx kittens. Now, lynx are a type of predator cat, and they live in that area, that region of the world. And apparently, like most places, the parents are killed, hunted, and the babies die. They literally are found helpless until something else comes and eats them. And so there's a woman and her father who are experts in rehabilitating lynx. And we've supported their efforts to really ramp up. And it's the most remarkable project. I've never seen a predator anywhere that can survive without being trained by its mother, or I suppose theoretically the father, but it's almost always the mother that trains the cubs. Well, they figured out a way to have these lynx kittens train themselves. And basically the way it works is they're in a closed pen that they create. It's large enough that they're not in a small area, but they have a tunnel and they introduce rabbits into the pen. And the lynx kittens are instinctively attracted to them, and they try and chase them, and the rabbits laugh at them because they have no chance of catching them. And so these rabbits are in the same pen with them, and they can come and go out of the tunnel and they can run around the pen, but they're eventually going to have to deal with the fact that the lynx kittens are getting older. They're getting better because they're being fed by these folks. They're getting faster, and they learn the tricks of the rabbits. And eventually they learn how to catch a rabbit. Then they introduce pheasants, and the pheasant can fly. And of course, they don't know, that's new to them. And the same thing, they eventually learn how to position themselves, how to hide, how to jump, whatever they have to do to catch a pheasant. And at that point, if they can catch rabbits and pheasants, they're ready to be released. And I just think it's the most remarkable rehabilitation of any kind of species I've ever heard. And they're doing great work. So we love championing that.
Wow, that's amazing. And this is it already available to watch, or is it's about to come out?
We're going to get film from them as they're in the process. They're literally ramping up based on the funds we sent them and doing the work as we speak. So we hope to see some film soon, and we'll curate it and happily put it out on Ecoflix.
That's amazing. And I know we work with a lot of students and young people in Scotland in Los Angeles that are into filmmaking and are in film school. Is there a way for them to get involved with you guys and maybe do an internship and go to these places and film something?
Well, we have our first intern coming this summer. She works for Stanford and was very interested and was introduced to us, and we are bringing her on board. And we think it'll be a great thing to train young people and have them go out and do more great things. And Kevin needs to get ready, because we hope there'll be many more that he'll be in charge of bringing up to his level.
Fantastic.
Yeah. We're very interested in filmmakers and people that want to get in the industry, and obviously they understand the audience. And as David's indicated, we're definitely about the youth, and from a professional development perspective, we're very happy to guide and mentor through the media division. And if people want to put their hands up via LinkedIn or email or via this podcast, I'm all ears, just saying.
Fantastic. We'll put Kevin's LinkedIn link right below too. One of our partners is Entrepreneurial Scotland, so I'm sure you'll be hearing from people, Kevin.
All right, send them my way. Let's do it.
Fantastic. Great. Is there anything else pressing? Kevin and Aimee and David, are there any needs that you guys have, any challenges? How can people get involved and further support you other than signing up and becoming a member and signing petitions?
Well, I can take that, but I've been doing a lot of talking. Anybody else want that one?
I'm happy to say, I mean, we're basically looking for, at the end of the day, we're a nonprofit. That's the big thing to say. And so donations are, kind of really welcome. We're also looking to work with corporates, brands in big ways. So, Ecoflix Media is the first fully sustainable video production services company. And we donate our profits back up into the Ecoflix Foundation. So that is, a big win. And we'd love to work with clients that are looking for video production services, basically. but we're also looking to work with like-minded brand partners who want to storytell about, kind of nature and the work they are doing in terms of becoming better and more green and more sustainable, and creating content for the platform. So we're looking for partners that can come on board in that way. So that's kind of what we're really excited about, and as we grow.
Oh, that's great. And as you know, that's how I met you, Aimee, was through Scottish Business Network. And there are so many businesses out there that are upping their game in terms of trying to give back and make the world a better place. So we will definitely be, again, putting Aimee's LinkedIn down there for people to contact her.
Absolutely.
You'll actually be pleased to know that when I was considering hiring Aimee, I watched that interview and it was instrumental in my decision.
That's wonderful. Oh, well, I'm happy to know ScotWeek can do something to really
bring people together. Absolutely. This is all Kevin, me, and David is all really a result of the Scottish Business Network, and that's even how I met Kevin a couple of years ago. So it's an incredibly powerful network.
I love this. This is great. And this is the power of humanity right here. It's great.
And I would point out on that score that, we're not the only channel that likes to show animal-centric video. Some are less concerned about inspiring and beautiful because we won't have bloody images and killing on the channel. It's just, we think it's counterproductive, but there are plenty that do. And there are different ways to approach this industry. And because we're sometimes copied and other times mentioned, people wonder if we're competitive, if we are, concerned about the fact that there are other animal related channels, including Netflix. And while I don't think Netflix has too much to worry about with us, we love the fact that they're doing that. And we think there needs to be more channels, not less channels. And the fact that they're in it for money, if they can make a profit, good on them. We're doing it as a nonprofit because we think that's the best way to go, but we really wish more people would do more for animals. And we want to be sure everybody understands this is not a competition. We've got to save the world.
David, that's so beautiful. I love that. And that's exactly right. There is so much more room for this kind of content and for this kind of education and learning to shift people's mindset and perception and awareness. I had no idea that it was not okay to ride elephants until you guys said that. So now I know. So thank you.
Watch Love and Bananas, or you can watch the Sanctuary show on Ecoflix on Elephant Nature Park. We cover it there too. I think it's important for people to see it, not just hear it. When you see and understand how the training takes place, when you know better, you'll do better.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think that goes back round, full circle to what we're doing with education and Eco Kids. I mean, we give away Ecoflix for free to schools, because we believe it's important that, everyone has access to the information. And like I said earlier, it's all evidence-based, it's factual, it's, we, at the end of the day, we want to become the most trusted media company so that eventually people come to Ecoflix for any information that they're looking for to do with animals and the planet. So it's a trusted source of information. We're not exaggerating facts. We're not, kind of over egging anything. Everything is, this is how it is. And then if there's an update later down the line, then we'll inform of updates, but it's not about, kind of milking the story and fear mongering and scaremongering and that kind of thing. It's very much the facts. So I think what I'm most proud of actually at this point in time is what we've got for kids on the platform. We've got some amazing, like David said, with On Safari with Nala, which is incredible. And, we've got our Save Our Planet Baby, Save Our Planet Kids series, which is also amazing. Really great animations for preschool kids as well to get conversation started. So it's really inspiring actually, even for for being adults looking at this content. It even gives you some ideas as well. So yeah, I think that's what I'm most proud of at the moment.
Great material for parents to watch with their children. And as Aimee said, it starts a conversation, and it's amazing. I have now 5 grandchildren. It's amazing the conversations that you get to and the doggonedest things that the kids figure out on their own or ask about. So I encourage everybody to watch it. We give a free month if you want to check it out, watch it with your kids. And I think there's a lot that can come from that.
It's brilliant. Well, thank you both. And I mentioned Kevin and Amy's LinkedIn below. David, would you like people to contact you?
You know, I am on LinkedIn, although I don't really understand it completely. I accept, certain people because I know they're related to me, but it's not the easiest way to get in touch with me, probably. There are dozens of places, including just dbc@ecoflix.com.
Fantastic. All right. Email. Great.
Good old email.
Amazing. All right. Well, is there anything else that you would wish to share? Otherwise, I will encourage everyone to sign the petitions below, check out the links, get a membership, watch these with your kids and your whole family. And thank you so much to the three of you for coming on.
Kelsey,
Great. I'd just like to close a comment, if I may. If we've not covered an idea that anyone listening thinks they can add value, not just monetary, a newsworthy topic, an animal that needs saving, a cause they're doing in school or fraternity or wider, we're always open. Our marketing channels are full of great stories and heroes of our world. If you think you're a hero or something you're a part of is a cause that needs more spotlight, and potentially we could even make a film vehicle out of it, please get in contact. I'd love to hear from you, and God bless you for our support. Thank you.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely. Thank you. Everyone, do what Kevin says. If you know someone, reach out to Kevin. Awesome. Amy, Kevin, David, you guys are amazing. I'm so honored to have this conversation with you, and I will be cheering with you, and I will be doing all I can to support y'all. So thank you so much.
Kelsey, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kelsey.